Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Kayfabe Central podcast of the headlines in pro wrestling this week. This is episode 28 of the headlines in pro wrestling this week, where we talk about all the latest TV drama, gossip, news, recap, all that stuff we go over here on the headlines of pro wrestling this week. I'm your host, Josh. As always, joining me is Ruan Wrestling.
Hey guys.
So yeah, we're going to be going over quite a bit of things, and just a lot of interesting things actually this week that happened that we're going to be breaking down. Um, my brain is like completely fried because my sleeping schedule has just been god awful. So apologies for that in advance. But yeah, we're gonna dive straight into the headlines of pro wrestling this week. Before we get into that, though, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, hit the notification bell so you're up to date with all the videos, podcasts, and interviews that come to the channel. Speaking of interviews, if you haven't checked out my interview with Charles Mayhem, go over and check that out. There's a lot of good stuff that came out of that interview, especially for certain Ontario wrestling fans. If you know the backstory to that, then it'll definitely be an interesting interview to watch. So make sure you guys go check that out if when you get a chance. And yeah, we're gonna jump straight into it. Obviously, there's the Discord server, TikTok page, all that stuff. I'll plug all that at the end. Um, let's jump straight into the headlines because we do have quite a bit to talk about. Um, so let's start off with a couple things from Monday Night Raw. Obviously, we don't have to go over the entire show, but obviously we had a the unveiling of the Masked Attacker on Monday Night Raw. And it appeared to be Austin Theory. Surprise, surprise.
Woo.
Um, the person that we all figured it was. They had, someone else in a mask or a couple other people in a mask to try to uh, confuse fans and, uh, confuse them and just think it's multiple people or think it's somebody else like the Montez Ford's name got thrown around a lot, and there was like other people that even we threw around as well. Like I remember at the very start we mentioned Trick Williams, we mentioned Buddy Murphy, so a lot of things like that went down. um yeah, this is it's fine. This unveiling was a little bit ant to me. I kind of feel like the crowd didn't deserve this reveal. There was just no pop to it, and I feel like if they waited as long as I thought they were gonna wait till January to do this reveal, I think it would have been even worse. It's very interesting though because as to where Austin Theory is going to fit into this because your next big thing is already Braun Breaker being set up to win that world championship at some point. And then you also have Bronson Reed in there as well. And, Bronson Reed is your big guy, he's your muscle. And then obviously you have Logan Paul added into here as well. So I don't know really where Austin Theory is going to fit into the vision. And the way I'm looking at this is Austin Theory's, I want to say, final chance to shine, because it's either he's going to be elevated as a very top guy or he's just going to be in the mid card for the rest of his career. And I like Austin Theory. He's a very talented in-ring wrestler. But he's usually just been thrown the comedic gimmicks. And usually that's where he strives. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he thrives under a more serious gimmick, under the Vision, under Paul Heyman. And yeah, this whole thing is a little bit up in the air for me right now. I'm a little bit on it. But yeah, what did you think about this?
Well, it was actually really funny with some of the stuff you said there because I actually pre-recorded and have a video going up tomorrow talking about this exact topic, and you brought up some things that I said as well, in the fact that I agree. I don't think it had the legs to go to the January 5th edition, which I originally thought they were going to go for, with it being Austin Theory. I still think now that we know it was Austin Theory, I feel like they probably should have just done it either at Survivor Series or the Raw after.
Yeah.
Because as you said, it's a funny one because on the one hand, and I totally agree, it's anticlimactic, but it's also like we all knew who it was going to be anyway from the beginning.
Yeah.
Even I said that in my video. As much as I would be cool to have been, as you said, Trick Williams or Montez Ford, I was like, if you're a bet man, I'd put my money on it being Austin Theory, which it was. So Yeah, absolutely. And then the other part that you brought up, which was really interesting, because I said the exact same on where the hell does Austin Theory fit into this group? It doesn't, not that it doesn't make sense at the minute. Like, obviously, it does fit into what they're going for, like the young up and coming talent. But there's already so much there. I said you've got Braun, you've got Bronson, you've got Logan chucked in there. I just don't know how Theory's going to work. And I guess the only Theory, well, I can think of for it, that I've seen chucked around. I think you've mentioned it before. I've seen loads of people talking about it. Sorry, I got choking on my own words there, is the potential of this maybe inside man working for Seth Rollins, which I've seen that being chucked around a few times. And for when Seth comes back, that Theory is actually working for Rollins, which I don't know. Maybe I don't know how that would work as well, but I am worried for Austin Theory because I just don't know how he's going to fit into this group. Because as we said, the top guy's established, the big muscle man's established, and the kind of chicken shit heel on the other side of them is also established. So I really am feared for Austin Theory. I hope the best for him. Like I say this tomorrow. He's no by no means is he like my favorite wrestler. Not gonna sit and start pretending that I want Austin Theory to be a WWE champion one day, but if it works, it works. I'm happy to see it flourish and see him flourish and do well. But I am very wary about how this is gonna go.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, Austin Theory is somebody who can absolutely get it done in the ring, but somebody that's not always been over entirely, even with a win over John Cena. Like, obviously, that's gotta mean something around this time of year as well. But I it's going to be very interesting and weird to see how he's going to fit into this group. And the theory, it's so funny, let's say the theory when we're talking about Austin Theory. But the theory that he may be working for Seth, I don't give WWE that much credit to do that deep of thinking. And they're very lazy with their writing. I'm not going to give
Yeah,
them that much credit. It would be kind of cool if it was, but then again, like you said, um, I don't see that being very compelling.
yeah.
Maybe for like the first week or two, and then where do you go from there? Like, what does Austin Theory do with Seth Rollins? Does he just become like a lackey again? Because more often than not, that's what he has been. Because when he came in 2020 for a little bit alongside Seth, that's what he was, and then they scrapped that. And then he was doing the comedy stuff in NXT with Gargano and Ciampa and Candice. And then they had the whole Vince McMahon's protege gimmick with him, and then ended up having one of the worst cash-ins of all time. So. I'm like you said, I am very scared for Austin Theory and how this is going to pan out. But I'm all for Austin Theory getting a spotlight because he is somebody who can get it done in the ring and somebody who uh I've believed in for quite some time. And I think that maybe it's the mic work and the character work that he needs to build up a little bit more because he hasn't always been that great on the mic, and his character work hasn't always been that great. Like, I do want a confrontation between him and Grayson Waller at some point if he's sticking around
Mhm.
with the division. I want that confrontation and Grayson Waller. A little bit of a spoiler for my like end of year awards, but I think Grayson Waller is like severely underrated. And if you want to throw Waller in a feud with Austin Theory or something, I don't think Grayson Waller should be a babyface by any means, but it's kind of a thing where Grayson could easily be like, "Oh, so you left me for these guys," and then that causes a problem, whatever. Again, I'm not giving WWE that much credit, but I would at least like a confrontation between the two just to kind of acknowledge your past and not forget that he was in a tag team with uh, Grayson Waller. It also seems like to build a superstar, you just got to shave their head. Kyle Fletcher is a very good example of that, shaving his head, and all of a sudden became a superstar. Clearly, that's the route that they're going with Austin Theory. I've seen many, many comparisons to the Daniel Garcia gimmick
That's
with
what I said in
Austin
my
Theory.
video.
Um, and I can't disagree with the comparisons because it is there.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know if the WWE would go out of their way to copycat something AEW is doing intentionally. Again, I wouldn't put it past them, but I don't know if they actually are doing that. And Theory looks badass. I saw the
Hmm.
spoiler of his
Yeah, same.
gear on Monday Night Raw, and he looks even more chiseled. I don't even know how that's possible. The guy's just gonna explode one day. Um, but. Yeah, I'm very hopeful for Austin Theory because it's a guy that I've been keeping my eye on for a couple years and been wanting to see him elevate to a higher level.
Yeah, definitely I agree. I think he's spot on because he's always had it in the ring. Like he's like I've never would never ever say that. Like he's absolutely always had it. I think the issue I did was on the mic and the guys, particularly the mic stuff. I mean, we've seen that in that feud with John Cena. Like that feud with John Cena, I think did more. Even though he won it, I think did more harm than good for Theory because
Yeah,
he just couldn't hang with Cena, and that's not like a knock on Cena. Like we've seen this year alone with the likes of Dom, like young guys with the up that can hold themselves in there. Theory at the point just wasn't up to it, unfortunately. So hopefully that's improved and it works out for him.
yeah, absolutely. So that's the masked man stuff. Um, I guess we should talk about Gunther. And what and how that went down on Monday Night Raw. So obviously, if you've been sleeping under a rock, Gunther retired John Cena at Saturday night's main event. Came out on Monday Night Raw to a chorus of boos, barely let him speak, which yeah was perfect. Because now you've created your supervillain in the WWE, and you know you're I guess you're I don't mean to, steal a phrase here, but your final boss in a sense,
That's what I keep
in
calling
the
him.
WWE. And so we had a segment where, he was going backstage, everybody was mad at him, and eventually he came to AJ Styles who was waiting at his car, and Gunther is just awesome. Then like he did the
Chef's
whole
kiss.
hey AJ, you can't see me thing. Uh AJ is next. I'm thinking that's what the case is. AJ
Hmm.
Styles is next. He never specified when next year he's going to be retiring. I think he said early 2026, if I'm not
Hmm.
mistaken. I don't think he's gonna do like an entire retirement tour or anything like that. I could see him doing a thing where it's like he just faces people that, he wants to run it back with one more time or he hasn't faced yet. Um, I wouldn't be completely opposed to the idea of after AJ's done with WWE when he's to finish up his retirement match, go over to AEW, have a match with Samoa Joe. I think that would be pretty cool. And then he can finally just hang up the boots. But yeah, I like this. And I like Gunther just being that badass.
Gunfer is my goat. Is fairly became I loved it. This was my favorite opening to Raw I think I've potentially ever seen. And it was funny because and I agree with everyone else. The crowd was pretty shocking on Monday, bar this segment where they made it so good. But I think that just is more of a sign that how good Gunfer is at his job and that he's done well. That he's made even a crowd that wasn't that good do the right thing and react the right way to him. He was absolutely perfect. Came out his Saturday's main event. I made John Cena tap out like a little bitch. Absolutely amazing. See I don't know. I've seen quite a few folks saying that they don't think this was as powerful as the This Is My Yard Now, but. Kind of what I was just saying there was the fact that This Is My Yard was amazing, but that was on the Raw after Mania. Always a really hot and kind of rowdy crowd. Whereas this was, as we just mentioned, quite a rubbish crowd in Hershey, Pennsylvania. And Gunther still managed to get that reaction. If this had been a Raw after Mania where he had retired Cena, I would generally have feared for Gunther's life. Like try to get out of that building. So I think this did everything perfectly. Set Gunther up. He is
Did I lose you, Rue? I think we lost Rue. We are still recording. We may have lost him. Oh,
Oh,
there we go. Okay, we are
we're
back.
back.
All right, we're
I
back.
guess we're back on.
I have no idea how that's gonna turn out on the actual video. But yeah, I'm assuming it's just gonna cut and then yeah, you were talking, so continue.
Yeah, sure. I could see your picture at the side of the screen is frozen. I was like, all right, I swear, John, I'm going to keep talking in the hope that it reappears.
Yeah,
But eventually just cut off. No, I was just saying, about the fact that when it comes to like this whole gun for retiring everyone, as much as I would love it, I don't quite think he retires everyone. I also
yeah,
I definitely think AJ is on the list. I think the likes of Ray will be on that list eventually. I think maybe like an Orton might get chucked in there. Whereas someone like a Brock, I think we're definitely getting gun from Brock. I don't think it will be for the retirement. I think that could be held off for someone else. But yeah, anyway, so the whole thing was that, and then I was just saying that the AJ Gunfer stuff at the car was amazing, and anyone that says Gunfer doesn't have any charisma, you can just get. I'm just going to send you the gif of Gunfer doing that because it's just amazing. As we pointed out, I don't know how folk can sit there and say. Genuinely, I will fully say, if you can't understand why Gunfer is amazing and think he has no charisma, you do not understand wrestling. Straight up, I don't care.
yeah, absolutely. I was with you when you said that he's not gonna retire everybody, but
Mhm.
didn't say a name that I was thinking of because I do
Okay.
think he may retire Randy Orton. I do think he'll retire
Mm.
AJ Styles. Um, I think that Dom might actually retire Rey Mysterio. I think that might be the
Oh,
route
I
that they
lost
go.
Josh again. Oh no.
Have you
Oh,
lost
you're
me?
back. Okay, so
Okay, we're
you
good.
like
Okay.
jumped.
I think it's gonna be
Yeah, I
Dom.
think I think I think we're back. I think we're back.
Okay. I think it's gonna be Dom that retires Rey Mysterio. I think that might make the most sense.
That's a good shout.
And Gunther could easily, retire Randy. They have their history as well, Gunther and Randy. I do think that Gunther's gonna be the one to retire Brock, actually.
Okay.
Um, I think that's just gonna be set up for SummerSlam. Obviously, if they do that at WrestleMania, then not gonna be the case, but. Why not? Why not? It'd be Gunther. If that guy retires, John Cena, Goldberg, and Brock Lesnar, that is ridiculous. And that is some ridiculous stats to have on your resume. So yeah, I am absolutely loving Gunther and what he's doing right now, and I think he should just continue that. I think he may be challenging CM Punk for the world title at WrestleMania. That's probably where we're going. I don't think AJ and Gunther that retirement match is happening at WrestleMania. It very well could.
Hmm.
But I can see them wanting to do similar to what they did with Cena. Have it on a show where you can just make it about AJ. Like you have the deal with TNA as well anyway. So, uh,
Yeah.
you can just, work with that. Um, but yeah, that's the Gunther stuff. Did you have anything else to add on to that?
Oh, it's just it's absolutely amazing. Yeah, I totally see what you mean with the matches. I've quite funny the setup for WrestleMania. I find Brock's facing one or two guys, and then the other person that you might see in Punk will face the other one. It's Braun or Gunther.
Yeah.
That's one of them's facing one of each other. That's how I think it's going to go. Either if Gunther's facing Brock, I think Braun's going to face CM Punk. If Braun faces Gunther, I think Brock, I think Gunther's going to face CM Punk. So yeah,
Yeah.
it just depends on where he factors in. But yeah, I absolutely adore this. There's one promo. It's funny. I'd not put him as the full. 'Cause I wasn't going to be that cheeky and give him the full award. But that one promo on Monday Night Raw got Gunther chucked into one of my honorable mentions for the awards because it was that good. I
Oh
was like,
yeah,
so
that was a really good promo. And he handled
so
that
good.
heat so well.
Oh,
So
that's the thing. He just knows how to do it. Like that video of the child screaming at him. I'm like, perfect. I hope that child's hopes and dreams are crushed. And
yeah,
Gunther's just laughing at him, and it is brilliant.
yeah, exactly. So completely unrelated to any WWE stuff. Let's talk about some AEW Dark stuff that made a return. They had AEW Dark stocking stuffer happen, and I'll go through some of the results, and if anything, we can go through them. This was just a little like special that they did. Apparently, according to Tony Khan, he had to get like Warner Bros. Permission to do this. So I can assume that this is going to be something that they do just every once in a while. This is not going to be like a weekly thing. They already have enough weekly stuff anyway. So we had Marina Shafir defeating Isla Dawn by submission. Um, Mind you, I didn't watch any of these matches. I just know the results and what
Yeah,
happened.
same.
We also had Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, and Mascara Dorada versus Mark Andrews, Kid Lycos and
I
Lycos
could
2.
like us, yeah.
Okay. Kid Lycos 1 and 2. I don't really know who they are. I think they're British tag team if I'm not mistaken. Um, So we
Yeah,
had
they are.
that where Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, and Mascara Dorado won that match. We also had the Death Riders, John Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, and Pac, um, and Marina Shafir taking on the grizzled young vets and Nathan Cruz. So yeah, that seems like a pretty fun show. That had the Death Riders winning that match. So seems like a pretty fun card. It seemed like it was fairly decent. To get some more faces on like these special shows that they do or whatever. I don't really know the reasoning as to why they did this. But I don't know. Maybe it was just to give the international crowd something extra. Um, yeah, that was AEW Dark Stocking Stuffer is what it was called.
Interesting then. Yeah, I totally agree with you. It sounds fun. I imagine, as you said, it was just to give the crowd a bit extra and get some of the known talent from around the UK chucked in there. It's cool to see likes of Isla Dawn getting shown showcased on the show. And actually the likes of Kyrgios 1 and 2 and all that. So I imagine that's why they did it. And why not if they've got the time, got the space, and everyone's happy to see it, give some people extra just name value to them and the notoriety and get them out there. So yeah, why not?
So let's talk about Rue's favorite thing to talk about at the end of every single week, and that's NXT.
Woo.
So we had quite a bit happen on NXT this week. Uh, let's start off with the biggest story coming out of this episode of NXT, that being the botched pinfall where Thea Hail beat Blake Monroe to win the Women's North American Championship. Now, Fightful Select did report that this was not supposed to happen. Blake Monroe was supposed to win, and uh, I um I read this report and I was like, and I watched the match obviously because I was covering it, and I was doing other things. I was talking to my mom and stuff because I'm like, okay, this is gonna be Blake Monroe retains, and I was even talking to my mom's fiance, and we were like, yeah, there's no way Thea Hale's winning this match, and lo and behold, she wins the match. She wasn't supposed to, but from what I heard and from what I know. Um, Off the springboard sent on when Thea landed on Blake. Apparently, she got winded a little bit, and you can hear Blake Monroe saying, "Get off, get the fuck off of me." And Thea just didn't, and the ref counted the three, which he's absolutely supposed to do. And for anybody that's like getting on the ref for that call, I I don't understand where your mindset is because the ref did what the ref's supposed to do is count the three. I even watched a clip of the interview. I think it was Charles Robinson with Chris Van Vliet. He's like, your job is to count the three. And apparently the ref was praised backstage for still counting the three and counting the shoot three. And yeah, so that's what he was supposed to do. Uh, it's going to be interesting to see how they recover from this and how, what are they going to do with the Hale? Are they just going to have a thing where, once they're alive again, Blake Monroe takes that title from her? Um, and I like Thea Hale. I've said this many times. I really do like Thea Hale, and she is somebody that I think deserves a championship. And uh I don't know. I'm very scared because I don't think that this is the thing, and I did see some people saying stuff like this online where people were thinking that Thea may have just gone into business for herself, and
Yeah, nah.
I'm like, that doesn't seem like something Thea would do. Obviously, you never know with certain people, but you look at Thea and she just doesn't seem like that's what she would do. Like if she was told to, that she's dropping the belt immediately after because the booking decision was wrong, then I'm very sure that Thea would hand that title over back willingly. So I highly, highly doubt that this was Thea going into business for herself. And things happen in wrestling, right? Like botches happen. You get winded. It happens sometimes. I also noticed that Thea Hail was trying to lift Blake Monroe's arm a little bit during that pinfall, and she still didn't get her shoulder up in time. But yeah, what did you make of this situation?
Yeah, so I've watched this back multiple times because it was really just strange to see it. Totally agree. If anyone is trying to blame the ref here, then I don't know what your understanding of wrestling is. Literally, it was only what two months ago now, if that, where we had that horrendous ending to that match on SmackDown with Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill, and Nia Jax, where the ref didn't. We've seen how messy that was. Like just from like breaking the business kind of point of view. Whereas the ref did exactly what the ref was meant to do here. So fair play to them. I don't think this is straight up one of these things that just shit happens. That's what it is. I
Yep.
don't think this is anyone's fault. I think it's probably just comes down to just maybe a slight lack of ring awareness, maybe from Fear just being a lot younger. 'Cause I think I've read a thing saying that she didn't realize she was meant to give Blake like a couple of seconds before hitting the center, and that's why she got winded. Um,
Oh,
Shit happens,
yeah.
and that's the thing with wrestling that was just great. We can revert it. I know this one particularly has caused a little bit of stuff because they had already pre-filmed some stuff.
Yeah.
Um, for NXT, so I understand this, but like, at the end of the day, it's nothing major. It's nothing that we can't fix. And well, I agree with you. I'm a big fan of Thea Hail. But yeah, this really came out of nowhere. And I mean, I would like to be proven wrong here, but I don't imagine she's going to be holding on to that very long. I imagine this will just go straight back to Blake Monroe.
Oh,
It seemed, yeah, it seemed like we were probably going towards Hon. I don't know, Jordan Grace was that they had Jordan Grace had that weird backstage kind of promo and prompter promo with Thea Hail wasn't after she won. Um, so maybe we just eventually revert into that with Jordan and Blake. But I mean, cool for Fio. I know the thing is like out of these like kind of moments that were completely by accident, it grew something kind of cool because Fio, you can see her, I've seen her on like Twitter and all that, and she's so happy to have won the belt and all that, and she just seems like the sweetest person.
yeah.
Um, so like I get edge mistakes happen, shit happens. It's no one's fault. If you're giving anyone any grief for it, then just go stop watching wrestling because it's just what happens.
I actually think that this is a good thing. I think that this can end up being a really good thing for both Blake and Thea because Blake has this alter ego thing that she's doing
Mhm.
and has that darker side to her. It could just be, she's like, okay, no, Ava's trying to screw me out of it. And because remember, that's also a storyline that
Yeah,
Blake and Ava have where she thinks Ava's just trying to screw her out of title opportunities or her championship. And Thea Hale is just that underdog and, that stole the victory. And sometimes that's how underdog victories actually happen in the WWE when they're written that way. So, I think this is actually maybe a blessing in disguise and could end up being a very good thing. But then again, it could just be, typical NXT and just ruin it. But I do like this. I'm happy for Thea Hale. Obviously, it's not the way I highly doubt it's the way that she wanted to win it.
yeah.
But she is a champion, and that's still gonna be on her resume. And yeah, uh, good stuff from Thea Hale. And shit happens. Shit happens.
It,
It's wrestling. It's live. You get one
exactly.
take. And you know what? It is what it is. I think that this is going to be a good thing in the end.
Well, it comes down to but if we go back to that triple threat match on SmackDown with Tiffany and all that, that's what I mean. Like, it just it if they're still trying to at least hold on to some element of kayfabe, I know it doesn't really exist anymore, but like if you're still trying to hold on to that, it looks more legitimate. She pinned Blake Monroe.
Yeah.
You can't argue that. Whereas Tiffany, I can't remember who it was, but or Tiffany technically pinned Niall, but then got told she did. Was it that? I can't remember which way around it was, but someone pinned
Yeah.
the other person, but then the ref was like, no, but then we were like, but we can see it. She
Yeah.
pinned her. So it's much better just doing this. We can fix it. It's fine. Obviously, some situations are a bit more extreme than others, and this one I don't think is that bad. As I said, they've pre-filmed some stuff that they can't go back and fix. It is
Yeah.
absolutely fine.
Yeah. Exactly. Um, so yeah, that was that. I should have asked this to you before we got on air. But the obviously we mentioned NXT is pre-taped. Do you want to avoid spoilers or do you not care?
Oh, is this for NXT? Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, this coming Tuesday.
I've seen the NXT one, so I'm okay with covering these ones.
Okay, sounds good. So for the December 23rd episode, that apparently kicked off, or these are just the matches that didn't have to particularly go in this order. But Lola Vice and Izzy Dame was set up this past week on NXT. That ended with Lola Vice defeating Izzy Dame. During the match, apparently Tatum Paxley chased Sean Spears off with a chainsaw. Uh, so that is going to be very interesting to watch. Tatum Paxley is just channeling her inner Darby Allin apparently, and just completely going insane. So that could be a lot of fun. Kalani Jordan also came out and attacked Lola Vice, and yeah, I made the same face. I was like, I don't care.
Hey,
Uh,
she's nominated for a few of my awards or honorable mentions. It ain't good ones.
yeah. Um, we had the Women's North American Champion Thea Hail. She gave a promo that was interrupted by Blake Monroe. And Hale is going to be defending the Women's North American Championship at New Year's Evil. So there's that. Like we mentioned just now, I think that Monroe's just going to win that title back, unless they want to build a story out of this and have Thea retain. Um, so that could be interesting. Um, Also, you can cut me off at any point if you want to jump in on any
Okay.
of these.
Okay, cool.
Um, we had the Speed Men's Championship number one contender tournament first round match where Tavion Heights defeated Eli Knight, not Eli Drake or LA Knight, Eli Knight, where Tavion Heights wins and advances. Um, we had Leon Slater and Obafemi had a backstage segment with each other. Um, a bunch of other like pointless segments that happened on this show. Um, yeah, we had the Women's United States Championship match as well, where Chelsea Green defeated Sol Ruca to retain. Um, TNA's Moose came out and chased off Ethan Page as well. So obviously that match is being set up as well for the NXT Awards show that's going down. Um, I can't remember when did they say that was happening again? That NXT Awards show. Is that the 30th episode?
NXT. Oh,
Because I can't fully remember. Lexus King also defeated Andre Chase in the Speed Championship tournament first round match. So yeah, that was NXT for December 23rd. And then I'll get into the 30th one in just a second once Rule finds what he's looking for.
I was just trying to see, but I can't actually remember when this NXT Awards thing was
Um,
meant to be. Um,
yeah, I can't even remember it either.
okay, it's not just telling me. It's fine.
I'll jump into the December 30th episode while
Yeah,
I find that. Um, Izzy Dame had a promo with Tatum Paxley. Their match is official for New Year's Evil. JC Jane defeated Ren Sinclair. Fatal Influence attacked Sinclair that led to Kendall Gray making the save. and posing with the NXT Women's title. Tavion Heights defeated Lexis King in the Speed Championship Tournament Finals match, so it's going to be Tavion Heights versus Jasper Troy at some point happening between them two for the Speed Championship. Uh, man, Tavion Heights, by the way, just kind of downgraded, didn't he? Went from feuding with Ethan Page to just fighting Jasper Troy for the Speed Championship. And I know we kind of praised Jasper Troy holding that Speed title, but man, it's like hey, it's not been good because we hadn't seen him for like a few weeks with that Speed title, and all of a sudden we have another tournament.
Yeah, welcome to WWE Speed, my favorite championship belt.
Um, OTM defeated Swipe Right. I don't know why that match happened. Um, Joe Hendry had a musical concert that was interrupted by our favorite faction, Dork State, that
Woo!
had it interrupted. And Tony D'Angelo was watching from, quote, the shadows, apparently. So I,
NXT.
I don't understand what's going on. Um, Ethan Page defeated Moose to retain the North American Championship. I can imagine that was a pretty solid match. Um, And then Ricky Saints defeated Javon Evans with a referee bump, a low blow, and a Rochambeau. So fine enough stuff for NXT. Not the most interesting things. A couple of championship matches, no title changes or anything like that. Um, and yeah, I'd assume that Speed Championship match is happening at at New Year's Evil.
It makes sense.
Yeah,
What they're gonna do. So yeah,
yeah, exactly. Um, But yeah, that's NXT spoilers for the 23rd and the 30th.
good luck.
Um,
No.
we'll get to the oh, did you find the year-end awards for NXT?
It came up. It's still not giving me a date for
Oh,
some weird reason.
that's weird.
I assume it would be
Um,
that.
the 30th, right?
I would assume it would be the last day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Oh, right, because they did say Ethan Page and Moose is happening on the NXT awards show, and so yeah, I'm assuming that's
Yeah. So that makes
that's
sense.
the 30th as well. So I did have the nominees for the NXT awards in front of me that I don't have anymore. So I am working on that at the moment. Um, but they did reveal the full list of NXT nominees. That list includes, so the nominees are for Male Superstar of the Year, Javon Evans, Obafemi, Ricky Saints, Trick Williams, and Ethan Page. Um, I would assume Obafemi wins that. If not, then probably Javon Evans. Trick Williams was kind of just a TNA guy and was dominating TNA most part.
Yeah. I would see if it's my own award there. I would actually be slightly biased. I mean, to be fair, I think everyone there actually, everyone actually does deserve it. Being biased, man, I actually low key would go Ethan Page. He's been outstanding this year. I think it will go over Femi or Javon, well, probably over.
Yeah.
Um, I would vote Ethan personally. Again, sure in for some of my nominees for for our own awards have been shocked in there, Ethan. But yeah, he's been outstanding this year. Ethan Page, every match he has doesn't matter if it's some triple guy from AAA, guy from TNA, or anything. Like he's just on it with everything. Character work, promo, in ring, amazing. So I actually would go Ethan from me. I think it'll be over the ones though.
Yeah, more than likely. We also have the female superstar of the year. The nominees for that are JC Jane, Sol Ruka, Blake Monroe, Tatum Paxley, and Kalani Jordan. I can imagine JC Jane wins this one. I feel like that would make the most sense.
Probably, which is kind of funny that low key, I think the answer and winner is should probably be Stephanie Vaquer, but she's that good that she's not even
Yeah, exactly.
getting the awards. Yeah, probably JC. I think just on like should win it, but I can imagine the public voting probably going for Saul.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. It very well could be Sol. She had a very big year this year where she
Yeah,
was involved in a lot. The Women's North American title, having the match with Bailey. having the match on SmackDown. So she's had a lot of good moments to shine this year as well. So it very well could go to her, and I wouldn't be mad about it.
Yeah.
We still have the nominees for Tag Team of the Year. That includes Dark State, Hank and Tank, Zari and Sol Ruka, Fatal Influence, and The Culling. This one's interesting, and I don't know if I'm thinking how WWE thinks. I'm going to assume they're either gonna go with Dark State or Fatal Influence.
Yeah. I it's kind of I think a testament to how god awful the tag team division's been pretty much since Faction left.
Yep.
It's been dead. And as much as I hate to admit it, if you're looking at actual tag teams with tag team championship reigns, it's probably Dark State, which is a low bar. It's
Yeah.
a low bar to have. Um,
Very.
I mean, faction wise, if it was faction, I'd probably go Fatal Influence. But it's not. It's tag team, so
Yeah.
probably Dark State.
Yeah. Exactly. We also have Moment of the Year, so we have a long list for that. We have the NXT versus TNA brawl, which there was many, so I don't know which one they're actually referring to, unless it's just, a collective thing. Um, Blake Monroe's debut, Ricky Saints' debut, Tatum Paxley winning the NXT Women's Championship, Stephanie Vaquer becomes a double champion, JC Jane defeats Stephanie Vaquer, Stax betrays Tony D'Angelo, Trick Williams wins the TNA World Title, Joe Hendry appears out of nowhere, which again he's done multiple times, so I don't.
Which one?
Yeah. Um, and the Hardy Boys winning the NXT Tag Titles. I actually don't know for this one
Yeah.
and as to what they're gonna go with.
Um, Proper like oh my god, like that's the whole point. It's meant to be out of nowhere moment. Because like for instance, the Blake and Ricky debuts, we all kind of knew they were going to happen at some point. Still shocking to see, but we can. I would probably either either Tatum winning or JC beating Stephanie. Which I know it's not great because those were moments that did make me go like holy shit.
I was gonna go with Trick Williams winning the TNA World
Yeah,
Title
I should. Yeah, that as well.
because that was a moment that genuinely shocked me. I remember watching that and be like, "What the fuck? What did they just
Yeah.
do?" And I think it very well could be Trick winning the TNA title. But like, there's a lot of options here that they could definitely go with. A lot of cool moments. I think Ricky Saint's debut was pretty cool as well. The way he just came into the crowd and
Yeah.
screamed into the microphone. So they definitely could go that route. Um, we have match of the year candidates as well. So we have the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge at Deadline, Oba Femi versus Javon Evans at Heatwave, Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page at Great American Bash, Kalani Jordan versus Sol Ruka at Battleground, Oba Femi versus Trick Williams versus Javon Evans at Stand and Deliver, and JC Jane versus Lola Vice at No Mercy. A lot of good matches on this list. Um, I
Oh
don't
yeah.
really remember the Jane and Lola fights. Actually, I do remember that one. Never mind. I don't, but I don't remember like watching that match and be like, oh wow, that was a really good match. It was probably
Yeah.
one of those things where like, okay, it was a solid enough match kind of thing. Um, I'm gonna assume either the triple threat at Stand and Deliver or Oba and Javon at Heatwave win this award.
Yeah, all of those are really good. Ricky and Ethan Great American Bash, was that their like was it Street Fight or Last Man Standing or something like that? I can't remember.
I think it may have been. They didn't specify what the
Uh
stipulation was.
if it's that one I'm thinking of, that was really good. But I mean, I guess we've been saying it all the way through tonight with some of our other picks potentially for our own end of the year awards. That Javon and Oba one at Heatwave gets a special mention from me. So I'll go with that one. But that Stand and Deliver triple threat was mental as well.
No, absolutely. We have best PLE and show of the year.
Ooh.
So we have New Year's Evil, Vengeance Day, Roadblock, Stand and Deliver, Battleground, Great American Bash, Heatwave, Homecoming, No Mercy, Showdown, Halloween Havoc, Gold Rush, and Deadline. Um,
Or if they haven't given a selection, it's just here's every show.
yeah,
Vote for
literally just
it.
every show they've ran. What's your favorite one? It's definitely not Vengeance Day. I didn't like that.
Was that the one where Stephanie won the North American?
Yeah, it
But
was. It
uh,
was. I didn't like
that's
that show.
that's the only thing I can remember from it.
Yeah, oh man, I can't even remember what the main event of that show was. Um, but yeah, I
Nova
don't remember
versus
liking
someone
Vengeance
maybe.
Day. Uh, I'm gonna assume that Stand and Deliver might just get this award. Yeah, because I think there was a couple of good things
Pro
from Stand and Deliver.
Standing level always is really because it is their kind of like WrestleMania or the big
Yeah,
one. I guess I'll give a shout out to Heatwave because I really enjoyed that, especially just mainly for that Oban Javon one. I'm trying to remember recent memory. Uh, Halloween Havoc was quite fun. I wouldn't necessarily be like, oh, show of the year, but it was fun. I remember enjoying myself.
yeah,
Especially the Ethan Page and Dr. Wagner match. Yeah, for me, I would go probably Stand and Deliver because they're always really good, even though I can't remember actually remember the show. And same with Heatwave because I remember enjoying it because of that Oba and Javon match.
yeah. So let's move over to some AEW stuff again. We this past Wednesday we had AEW Dynamite Holiday Bash. So we had a couple of good things that came out of that as well. Probably the strongest weekly show of the week this past week. We had John Moxley defeating Roderick Strong in the Continental Classic Blue League match. Roderick Strong is pretty much just done in this tournament. I Is he at zero still, or does he have three? I feel
Uh,
I know he's like very he's last in the entire bracket of the Blue League. And I it seems like Roger Strong is done. Even if he wins another match, it won't do much for him.
yeah.
Uh,
Trying to remember what he's on. See if I can bring it up. Actually, see.
yeah,
What we got here? Roddy, yeah, he's still on zero. I
yeah,
was like, that sounds harsh to say yes. I was like, but I think he is. He is on zero still.
yeah. But I mean, that's just the point that Roger Strong is at in his career. Um, we had the trios
Yeah,
match for
which
1
yeah,
million between the Elite and the Don Callis family, where the Elite did win that match. I think I missed some of this match as well, but the moments that I did see seemed really good. And when you put six guys like this together, it's going to be a good match. So, no surprise there. Um, the world title scene shook up a little bit this past week as well, though, because Samoa Joe and Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page were set for a triple threat match, but MJF made his return and used his contract to insert himself into that match for the AEW World Championship and had very good reasoning as to why he chose to go down this route because he went straight to Hangman Adam Page. He's like, the way I'm going to cut you the deepest is if I do it the right way. And that's very true because obviously we know the history between Hangman and MJF. I don't know where they're going with this anymore. I really, literally, any of these guys could walk out as champion at World's End.
yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna say I want MJF to win. I forgot how much I love and missed MJF, and particularly missed him in the title, like the main title picture. Um, after this, it's over. It's like I sound like I'm stating the obvious, saying that he came out and cut an amazing promo because it's MJF. Of course he did.
Yeah.
That Diddy line broke me, by the way. That was so good. Yeah, I just listened to this. So I was like, give the man the title. I don't care. I fucking love MJF so much.
Yeah, brought up P. Diddy on live television on AEW, referring to Swerve Strickland, and then obviously brought up Swerve's WWE past and called WWE a perfectly good company. So that's MJF for everybody. We also had a eight-woman tag match where Mercedes Moné, Marina Shafir, Megan Bayne, and Athena defeated the Timeless Love Bombs and the Babes of Wrath. I forget who took the pin in this match. Um, I can't remember if it was one of the Babes of Wrath that took the pin. Uh,
uh,
but I'm going to assume that Monet and Athena are gonna go after those tag titles from the Babes of Wrath. Uh, And spoiler alert, I know you don't watch Collision, so um,
Spoiler, I know, so it's fine.
okay, fair enough. Mercedes Moné lost the Rev Pro Championship to Alex Windsor, who I'm not the biggest fan of. I've never been able to get behind Windsor. I never got behind the Windsor thing either. But Alex Windsor beats her for the Rev Pro title. So the downfall of Mercedes Moné is happening as we see it. She's gonna slowly drop those titles one by one. And yeah, I'm like I said, I think it's gonna be end up being Mercedes and Athena going after those tag titles next.
I think so. I hope that's just a way of putting two big names on the card for the Babes of Wrath to go over. Like, please, hopefully they don't lose them this early on.
Yeah,
Please, but yeah, I imagine so.
yeah. We had Continental Classic Gold League match where Pac defeated Kyle Fletcher. That kind of took me by surprise as well. About as good as a match as you could expect from these two as well. And Pac packs up some new points on the board. And I still think Kyle Fletcher's going to be kept strong, and he's going to more than likely get to like the semifinals of this tournament, or maybe he doesn't. Maybe they have a completely different plan in mind for Fletcher and who advances in this tournament. Um, we also had the Dynamite Diamond Ring Battle Royal. The final two were Bandito and Ricochet. So those two will face off. Uh, we had Orange Cassidy defeating Mascara Dorada in the Continental Classic Blue League match. Uh, Mascara Dorada's in the same position that I thought he was going to be in this tournament, where he'll probably win one match, which I think he has already, and he's just going to lose everything else because he's just there to get some shine, do some flips, all that good stuff. So OC gets the win over him. Um, Right, completely forgot that Athena and Mercedes did issue a challenge to the Babes of Wrath for the AEW Women's Tag Titles on this episode of Dynamite. So that match is happening at World's End. So apologies for, the 2 minutes of blankness that just came out of my mouth. Um, but we also had Jamie Hayter defeating Isla Dawn. Isla Dawn's been getting a lot more shine recently, which, as she should. She's working her way up. I like her being paired with the Grizzled Young Vets, by the way. I think that's a very good, um, I guess you could say, starting point for her
Yeah.
to work her way up. Um, and then we had the AEW World Tag Team Championship match. FTR defeated the Bang Bang Gang, Austin Gunn, and Juice Robinson to retain those tag titles. So not much surprises here other than Pac defeating Kyle Fletcher, really. But it was a solid episode of Dynamite. Some really solid wrestling that went down here. And yeah, I this show gets a thumbs up from me.
Yeah, it was solid. I've seen a lot of backstage, well, not backstage, but just behind stuff. A lot of people I know obviously going into
Yeah.
it. So yeah, it's a solid show. I'm looking forward to World's End. I'm coming up next weekend, especially the reinstatement of MGF. That will be very good. I hope he wins that title.
Yeah. Um, so do we want to go over spoilers for next week's SmackDown?
So I have seen pretty much. Actually, I say pretty much. I've seen everything for SmackDown, so
Everything? All right.
I'm fine for it.
All right. So we'll go through it. So if anybody doesn't want spoilers for next week's SmackDown, then just skip ahead. And we'll eventually stop talking about it. So just skip ahead or whatever the case may be, if you want to avoid spoilers. So we had a Joe Hendry concert to open SmackDown, and he performed with Jingle Bells is what I'm reading here,
Yeah.
and said The Miz has tiny balls, so we're doing that again. Um, we had the Miracle on 34th Street Fight match between The Miz and Joe Hendry. Um, and that happened later on in the night. That segment set it up. Um, We had a backstage segment with Ilya and Carmelo um, to set up their match, and so that happened. We had a promo with Drew McIntyre backstage. Man, very promo heavy on this episode of SmackDown.
A taped
Very
episode.
promo segment heavy. Like I'm reading through all this, like obviously I've read it before, but I kind of just skimmed through it. Didn't
Mm.
realize how many damn segments there were. Um, yeah, so we had Charlotte Flair and Lash Legend go down as well. Where Charlotte Flair beat Lash Legend. And then the biggest thing of this episode of SmackDown, the United States Championship match between Ilya Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes, where Carmelo Hayes wins the United States Championship from Ilya Dragunov. So happy for him. He absolutely deserves this. And yeah, I'm ecstatic for Carmelo. I was speechless when I saw this. I was like, wow, they actually gave him a title. Like
Yep.
not just, Andre the Giant, Battle Royal winner. They actually gave him a title. So I am very happy for Carmelo Hayes here.
Yeah, me too. When I seen this, I was like, "Oh my God, I couldn't believe it." But it's one of those ones like Elias had an amazing reign for it. He's in this thing. He's only had it for 2 months, if that. I think he's probably like solidified himself as one of the best US champions that we've actually had. So yeah, I've seen all the images as well from after the match. Yeah, like the two of them celebrating with each other and Elio giving Carmelo his flowers, which is good to see. So really happy for Carmelo. I guess the answer to the question, sorry, for both these men is kind of what's next. Obviously, we've spoken about it with Carmelo. There's all the talk of Trick Williams being called up to either SmackDown or Raw. I would say this is a good gateway to get Trick in somehow. And then for Elio, I actually don't know what to do because we were speaking about it, saying that in any other universe, in any other timeline, I would say Gunther. But this one, no, don't not Gunther because he will lose and he should lose if he's going against Gunther. But I don't want him to lose if he
Yeah,
does.
yeah, exactly. Um, so we had that was a ridiculous voice crack, by the way. We had a backstage segment with Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss that quickly broke into a wild screaming match, is what I'm reading. And then a women's tag team brawl just broke out. And it was announced that on the first SmackDown in January, there will be, um, this is very worded very wrongly, but I'm assuming it's just, uh, 8 women, their own teams, in a tag team match or
Right,
like a
yeah,
four-way tag team match announced for
yeah.
the first SmackDown of January to determine the number one contenders. We had Chelsea Green and Alba Fire versus Kiana James and Julia, where Julia pinned Chelsea Green to win the tag team match. So the Women's United States Champion gets pinned by the former Women's United States Champion. Again, I could care less. They haven't given this title much shine at all, or any relevance really. Um, and yeah, so there was that. We had a segment with Drew McIntyre, where Drew apparently is. I'm reading this like almost word for word, by the way, so bear with me. Tears a referee into on the mic, tears into the referee on the mic and completely ripping apart. And then it's made official that it is Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes in a three stages of hell match at Bash in Berlin. When the hell is Bash in Berlin happening?
Wait, Basherville? Wait,
I,
what?
I'm I'm I'm
Is that
pretty
what it's?
sure this was um written wrongly because
The SmackDown's in Berlin, but
um I wanted to read that there and I should I out the website that wrote Bash in Berlin?
I mean, do you have any affiliation to them?
I do not. So Ringside News apparently thinks
What's it there?
Bash in Berlin is when this match is happening. Um, I'm assuming this is for the Royal Rumble is when the show is actually when this match is actually gonna happen because they haven't announced the Bash in Berlin pay-per-view for 2026.
I
So
think that that SmackDown is actually the no, I remember is the SmackDown that's in Berlin because they're doing the European tour.
Oh, okay.
That's what I think they're talking about
Okay.
potentially.
Well, I hopefully. But it did not happen
Not
again.
not bad, not bash.
No. So I probably confused so many people by just reading Bash
It
and
confused
Berlin.
me. I
Yeah.
was like, what?
Um, but yeah, I can't remember the last time we got a three stages of Hell match in the WWE. I want to
So
say it was Gargano and Cole in NXT.
Gargano and Cole. I will give you. Actually, I don't want to put the risk just in case you have a weird memory like me. Um, I will theoretically give you my TikTok page if you can tell me what the one we had before that was, at least on the main roster. Because I don't know why I remember this. I will be shocked if you remember it.
Three stages of Hell match on the main roster.
Yeah.
Oh man, I couldn't even tell you.
Well, I can't remember the exact date, but it was John Cena, which makes sense, and Ryback.
Was this like on a episode of Raw or like
I need to check when this was now. John Cena,
Chunkin and Ryback?
Ryback, three stages of Hell match.
That wasn't their
Um,
payback match, was it? Or
yep, it was. Yep.
that was a three stages of
2013,
Hell match?
2013 paybacks, which I believe it also for the match stipulations it was horrendous because it was yeah, Cena retained as well after two falls. Oh, you lost the first one, so Ryback was opening one in a lumberjack match, and then they had a tables match, and then an ambulance match. So not not exactly the most invigorating. Then I believe all the other ones after that were all Triple H ones. I think
Yeah. Huh.
potentially.
Wow. I didn't see. I know of
No
that
clue
match,
why
but
that was.
yeah, I knew that
No
match
clue
happened at Payback.
why.
Didn't know it was a three stages of Hell match.
Yeah, why was Ryback in a three stages of hell match?
I have no clue. Um, so let's move on to some other stuff other than WWE. And this is probably yeah, gonna be the last topic that we talk about today. I feel like we just breezed through these topics today.
Fine.
But going down tonight is AAA Guerrera de Titans. I don't know if I pronounced that right.
That sounds pretty spot on to me. At least from us non-Mexicans. Like,
If I mispronounced it, please somebody who knows let me know in the comments. But the card we have set up for that is Dominic Mysterio and El Grande Americano. They're going as Los Gringos Locos 2.0, apparently. Taking out Rey Mysterio and Rey Fenix. Obviously, Penta was supposed to be in this match, but he's still not medically cleared to compete. So Rey Mysterio is taking his place. That could be a fun match. Again, if you want to jump in, you can just interrupt me
yeah.
and talk about it. We have the AAA World Cruiserweight Championship match: Laredo Kid, Javon Evans, and Jack Cartwheel. Now,
Oh,
here's the thing. So I went to Demand Lucha on Thursday, and I had never watched a single Jack Cartwheel match in my life. And he was there at Demand Lucha in Toronto. And I'm watching this match, and he was facing Joey Janela. And uh, these two just put on a fantastic match. And I couldn't find Jack after the show, but I found Joey, and I went up to Joey and I'm like, dude, that was fucking fantastic. Holy shit. Like I was like, dude, that was amazing. Um yeah, Jack Cartwheel can go, man. Some of the things that I saw this man do, and it's not just like flippy stuff he's good at. He actually can do some really solid moves in there, and he's a really in-depth move set. So definitely keep your eye out on Jack Cartwheel. Yeah, very good stuff here.
yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this match. Plus, just chucking in Laredo Kid and Javon. Like, as I've not seen Jack Cartwheel, so after hearing um your preview of him, I'm very excited. I was already excited for this match because I knew it was like flippy. I knew that.
Yeah,
So I was like, I assume it will be even just like I mean, Laredo Kid and Javon Evans already is going to be an incredible match. So chucking someone else in there isn't going to harm it. But from hearing what you've said about him, I'm like, okay, I cannot wait for this match now.
Yeah. He's so good, man. I That was one of the best matches in Ontario that I have watched.
Okay.
That was so damn good. We also have the AAA Latin American Championship match happening. El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. defends against Ethan Page. So they're running this match back again. I assume this is, gonna be entertaining for the AAA audience. As someone who's seen this match before, though, I don't really have much interest in it. So uh, yeah. Do you have any thoughts on this match going down again?
I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed the one yeah, I said I thoroughly enjoyed the one at Halloween Havoc. So as you said, we've seen it, so we know what we're going to get, and it's going to be class. Generally, I don't think he will. I haven't done predictions for the show. If I was predicting, I would still go Dr. Wagner, but I think there's definitely a possibility that because WWE likes taking the titles as we've seen of the
Yeah.
partnerships. I think there's definitely a possibility of Ethan Page winning this year.
Oh, definitely. I think it's a very good chance that Ethan Page wins, and I'm actually gonna take Ethan to win here. I think it'd be crazy that he's
Okay,
holding
cool.
three titles, but I don't know, something's telling me that he's just gonna win the title tonight. I think.
I'm okay with it.
Uh, Yeah, I obviously don't know much about AAA, so I'm just gonna throw a wild card out there. But it seems to me, like as an outsider looking in, that Dr. Wagner Jr. has been holding this title for quite some time, and
Hmm.
usually when they run a match back, that it usually means the title is switching hands. So I'm going to assume that Ethan
Good
becomes
point.
a triple champion in AAA. So
Triple champion and two of the belts of not of WWE. Love it.
exactly. Um. We also have what else do we have on here? We have the Carnival of Carnage match. The Wyatt Six versus Pagano, Psycho Clown, Dave the Clown, and Murder Clown. So there's a lot of clown action going on in this match. I don't know much about any of this. The Wyatt Six are involved though. Um, it could be fun. It sounds like a fun stipulation match.
Yeah, I have no idea what it actually incurs, and I don't know much about Los Psycho Circus, but what I do know is how much I love Pagano and Psycho Clown. So if they're in the match, I'm cool with it. And this is we kind of like a separate discussion. We will talk about this last night with the White Six. I'm like, this is the good spot for the White Six. I don't like them in the title picture on SmackDown, but having these kind of gimmicky, horror-esque themed matches where they can just go and hit each other with stuff, then cool. I'm okay with that. So I think this is a good place for them. So I think it should be a fun match.
Yeah. We also have Dragon Lee taking on El Hijo del Vikingo.
Ooh,
Vikingo's a heel now, right?
I think so. What I've seen. Well, I
Uh,
mean, if he's not, he's been made one by the fans.
yeah. I don't know. I think from what I heard or what I saw, that he is a full-on heel now. And he's going against Dragon Lee, who's a babyface. So it definitely seems like it is.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a lot of fun. Dragon Lee and Vikingo are both fun wrestlers, so this should definitely be a fun one. We also have um, Nino Hamburguesa and Mr.
Yep.
Iguana versus Bravo Americano and Rayo Americano versus the LWO, Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wild versus La Parca and Octagon Jr. So
La
uh,
Parka.
they seem to love doing these kind of matches on every
Oh
AAA
yeah.
show. I can imagine that this is going to kick off the entire night because they always love having like the LWO guys kick off the night and start it off hot. So yeah, this could be a lot of fun.
I think it will be. I agree. I think it'll kick off. They always like doing these. La Parka's my absolute boy. And everyone's going for Mr. Iguana, and I love Mr. Iguana, but I fell in love with La Parka. He is my guy in AAA. I do love though, and I was thinking there's more from you can look at it from two ways. You can be sad by it, or you can just embrace how funny it is, and that they probably are as well. But I love how in this gimmicky of gimmick matches, we've got Mr. Iguana, I guess La Parka. Who's La Parka's teammate again? Actually, completely forgotten.
Octagon Jr.
Octagon. I still like amazing wrestlers, and then you've also got the LWO, and then you've got gimmicked up Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, British strong style, really mean and serious guys chucked it. But you know what? I said you could be sad about it, which part of me is, but then I'm like, okay, this is what we're getting, and it's kind of funny, and they're going to be amazing in the match because they're two amazing wrestlers.
Exactly. Yeah, that definitely could be a lot of fun. Obviously you watch more AAA than I do. We also have Los Tox Toxicas
Mm,
versus Natalia, Fabi Apache, and Lola Vice. So not Natty. She's not going by Natty on this.
yeah.
She is going by Natalia. So that is a little bit interesting. But maybe they just want the Natalia gimmick on AAA.
So I thought this because I thought the exact same and thought that was weird because we have had Natty Neidhart on AAA, but
Yeah,
I wonder if it's because we're getting teased having that on Raw, so
yeah,
they're kind of trying to be like we want to keep that big, not like return because we know it exists, but it's a return debut to Raw,
yeah,
kind of separate. So that's why this isn't because I thought that as well. I was like we've had Natty before in AAA and she was Natty Neidhart. I'm like why is this Natalia?
yeah, exactly. And that's when she fought Fabi Apache. She came out as Natty Nightheart.
Yeah.
Is this I assume that this one is available in English?
Oh, I don't actually know. You know what? I don't know if it will be because, and this is the bare minimum of wrestling journalism that you're going to get here from me. The reason
Uh,
I don't think it is whenever WWE does a show that they do, or like a AAA one that's in English, it's usually Worlds Collide, and the name is in English, whereas this one isn't. It's also
uh,
in Spanish. It's the same way they did like was it the Triple Mania as well? I got one of the other account where it was all in it was all advertised in Spanish and it wasn't, but there wasn't an English one. So
okay.
I don't know. Maybe there might be, but
Fair enough.
who knows?
From what I know, this starts at 9 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah, 2 a.m. here.
Uh, so yeah, that's 2 a.m. is ridiculous. I feel bad for you guys, honestly. I couldn't imagine starting working at 2 a.m. Usually that's when I finished, sometimes for pay-per-views, but um yeah. But that is all we have to cover for the headlines in pro wrestling this week. Were there any other topics that you wanted to go over?
I think we got most of them went through in Raw, SmackDown. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward as well to end of year awards. I'm going to go off and continue writing some up. So look
Sounds
forward to
good.
that.
Yeah, absolutely. So as always, we want to know what you guys have to say and what your thoughts are. So make sure you guys drop your comments down below, whether you're listening on YouTube or Spotify. As I mentioned before, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're not already. Hit the notification bell so you're up to date with all the videos, podcasts, and interviews. Once again, go check out my interview that I did with Charles Mayhem. We had a great conversation, so go check that out if you get the chance. Also, check out the Kayfabe Central Discord server and the TikTok page as well. I post a variety of different content over on TikTok, so make sure you guys go check that out. Rue, you want to tell them where they can find you?
Yeah, we're on wrestling on TikTok. You can find over there. There's a lot of content, and same on YouTube. Post a bunch of YouTube shorts as well. So that's we're on wrestling.
Awesome. Yeah. And I will be back, I think Monday for Monday Night Raw, for the post show review, or for the Monday Night Raw preview podcast. So stay tuned for that. Keep your notifications on. And until then, I will see you guys there. Take it easy.